Hey everybody, how's it going? I hope you all are having a great day so far today. So I was going to talk a little bit of seasonal anime here and my first impressions on this particular series that I enjoyed the first episode for, and that is Hige, or After Being Rejected, I Shaved and Then Took in a High School Runaway. So based on the longer title, you guys could probably guess that this is based on a light novel. They typically have those series with those longer titles, and then on top of that too, you guys could probably guess what the actual story is about based on that title. But yeah, I wasn't expecting this episode to be as good as it was. I enjoyed the heck out of it, and it kind of left you wanting more. It's still kind of shrouded in mystery a little bit on what exactly happens to the girl that we get introduced to here. And on top of that, it was really cute. It was funny with all the teasing that was going on and just the awkward moments and stuff that happened. And then on top of that, it was really wholesome and which I wasn't really expecting a whole lot of. I was expecting more kind of like romance comedy stuff and everything, and or at least without kind of a lot of wholesomeness in it, but it was really wholesome. I really liked the moments that we got shown in this episode. And then on top of that, it was sad too, because it makes you realize and look at things in a different light. Like, this kind of stuff happens in real life, and it kind of makes you feel sad for the character that we run into here. And we'll kind of get into it from the beginning here. So in the beginning, we have this guy that we get introduced to as our main character. His name is Yoshida, and he's seemingly on a date with this really, really gorgeous woman. And then he was thinking that it was a date, and he offered to take her back to his place to do you know what. And then she tells him and rejects him, pretty much telling him hey, I'm already involved with somebody, I forgot to tell you that, or something like that. And pretty much rejecting the dude. And he was just like, are you serious, and stuff like that. And he got really depressed, and he was out drinking with friends and stuff after that, kind of complaining and everything because of that bad mood that he was in. He was under the impression he was on a date, but in reality he wasn't, and got turned down. I got the vibe that it was a date, but she probably thought it was just two friends going out on a little outing or something like that, just hanging out, you know. But yeah, other than that, he was out drinking with friends and everything. He was out late at night because he was kind of depressed and stuff. And then after he was done doing that, and he was going home, walking home, and out of nowhere he runs into this girl. She's just sitting under a lamppost, kind of looked like she was maybe sleeping or something, or she was just sitting under there looking down. And he asks her hey, what are you doing here? It's really, really late at night. It's dangerous out here. Don't you have some place to go? Don't you have to go home or something? And she tells him oh no, I don't have anywhere to go. I'm just sitting here, I have no place to stay, I have no money, I can't stay at a hotel or do anything like that. You can tell that she's really, that she's pretty young, that she's still in high school, because she has the high school uniform on and everything. So he was just what's going on with this girl? And at the same time, he's still kind of out of it because he's drunk too. And then she kind of offers up the solution of, oh, can I stay at your place? And then she tells him in return for this that she will offer up her body, essentially, pretty much saying, I will do you, I'll have sex with you if you let me stay in your place for tonight, or something like that. And he was like, whoa, 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 pump the brakes or whatever. He was just totally caught off guard. And then on top of that, he was drunk too. And but still, being the gentleman that he was like, no, you're a high school girl, I can't do that, I can't take advantage of you or anything like that. But then he came to the conclusion hey, she's a high school girl, I don't want anything bad to probably happen to her if I left her out here alone. Come stay at my place, I don't want anything bad to happen to you, I'll let you stay there for the night, and things will be all cool then. They saw his place, it's all dirty and everything, and he was just ready to go to bed. And she was just oh, are you sure you don't want me to do anything for you? I can make you feel good and everything. So she was still offering up sex. She was still putting sex on the table. So it seemed like she kind of did this. You can kind of get the gist from how she spoke that she's done this before, and this isn't her first time doing this. And he was just no, 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 that's not on the table, you're not my type, and stuff like that. Even though he was looking at her, because she is still kind of somewhat she had some bigger you know what. And then but still, he was not gonna do that. It was not on the table, nothing like that. So he respected her and was I'm not gonna do that and get into any sus situation or anything. And on top of that, you're not my type. He likes older women, of course, people of his age. But yeah, he told her if you want to do something for me, can you make me some miso soup, please? But still, at the same time, he was mid sleep, or mid about to go to sleep. He was really exhausted. And then later he woke up, and the place looked like it was a lot more clean. And then she made him the food too, and he was surprised because he was drunk when he said all that stuff, so he kind of didn't remember anything. And then he came back and he woke up and he was who are you? Like, I didn't expect you to be here. So he was kind of flipping out a little bit, and he was like, you're a high school girl. Like, oh my gosh, what did I do? I was drunk last night. Did I do anything to harm you? Or did I end up sleeping with her by chance and did something stupid while I was drunk? And it was really funny because she like did a weird, awkward pause after he asked her that. And she, just to kind of scare the crap out of him and to make him think that he did something bad, but she was just teasing him and messing with him and stuff. And he was just like, why are you doing this? This is not the time to be messing around, because he was like really freaked out in his mind. But yeah, she's a really funny character because she does that a lot throughout this episode of teasing him. But yeah, like even more so, we kind of get glimpses later on, after they kind of speak to each other, to the fact of where we're kind of getting into her psyche, like diving into kind of like her mindset and like what her standards are and everything, which is really messed up too, because we get to see that, and it's not the greatest thing, and it's messed up because stuff like this happens in real life. Some bad stuff essentially happened to her. We don't know what yet, but pretty much she ran away from home. She's really far from home. She's from Hokkaido, which is really far from where they're at right now in Tokyo. And then on top of that too, she's still kind of like asking him at that point of like, oh, do you want to have sex and everything? Are you sure you don't want me to do something in return for you for staying here? Like, and she was kind of telling him like, oh, you're kind of the weird one here, because he was saying like, oh, you're a weird one. Why are you offering sex up on the table? You're a high school girl. Don't do stuff like that. And she was like, oh, you're the weird one, because any other guy that I've done this to has always wanted something in return. And just based on that comment alone, like you can tell, like, pretty much it's insinuated that she's done this before. This isn't her first time doing this, which is messed up because she's a high school girl. Like, what happened in her prior life, or what happened like previously in her life that led her to the point of resorting to something like this? Essentially, she's surviving currently by seducing older men, and those men are letting her stay over in their place in return for her having sex with them, which is a messed up situation because she's a high school girl. Those older dudes are taking advantage of her, and then on top of that, we can tell that they didn't treat her well. Like, they treated her like crap pretty much, because we can see as well, like from their conversation that they had, as well as just some kind of gestures that were put around, that she's really surprised by even somewhat of a nice situation or a nice gesture that somebody does for them. It's not even something like super big or anything. It's kind of just human decency, common courtesy type of things. And she's really surprised by it, thinking that somebody like her, to her standard, it's somebody being really nice. But in reality, it's just kind of like anybody would do that, you know? It's just common courtesy. Because Yoshida was about to go out for a smoke break and everything. He was like, oh, I'm gonna go outside really quick, go on the patio and go smoke really quick. And she was like, oh no, it's okay. Like, you can smoke in here, it's fine. All the other guys did it with me. And he's like, in his head, you can see that he's really frustrated because he's hearing how the way she speaks and what her standards of like human decency are. And he's like, what is wrong with her? What's going on in her head? Why is she like this? And he can tell that stuff that happened either with her parents probably, or stuff that's happened with those other crappy dudes that she was with, warped her mind and warped her standards to the point of making her think that that kind of messed up stuff is okay or a normal thing to do. But in reality, it's not. You know, it's a shitty thing to do. And he tells her straight up, and I love this moment from him. He's like, hey, listen up. I'm not nice. Those people that you dealt with before were just shitty people. So from now on, have standards for yourself, and don't think that those other things that you thought were okay before were okay, because it's not, because it's gonna like potentially affect your health and ruin things for you and affect you in a negative way. So yeah, have standards for yourself, put yourself and value yourself a little bit more than what you are right now, because it's messed up how they treated you before. And yeah, I really love that moment. And like, you can tell that Yoshida's kind of taking on that kind of guardian-ish or parental like role in this situation with her, kind of mentoring her or something like that, or just, I don't know, just guiding her to be a better person, because it was messed up what happened to her before. And you can tell that her psyche and her mind, her standards are all warped and everything, like I said. And yeah, and some other things too is that you can tell that she has like a really childish mindset. We know that she's in high school, but still at some point, like, you got to know that there's other ways to do things, you know? When he offers her like the solution of letting her stay there, because right now she's in a bad spot. She doesn't have anywhere to go. She doesn't have money. So she was pretty much going to resort to doing what she was doing before, and like kind of seducing men to let her stay at their place pretty much after she was done being at his place. And he was like, I don't want to put her back in that bad situation, and making her think that this is the right thing to do. So he offered her the solution of letting her stay there, and yeah, pretty much until she's done with whatever situation that she's dealing with her parents, or whatever she was dealing with back in Hokkaido, or yeah, just the runaway situation in general. But on top of that, she was kind of in the mindset of like thinking, how am I ever going to repay you? Like, do I have to do anything? Are you sure you don't want me to have sex with you or something like that? And he was just like, no, that's not, you don't have to do that. And or she was just thinking that she can't repay him in any kind of way. So he was getting frustrated at that moment too, because you can tell that she's like in that childish mindset of like only thinking that her way of repaying him was just in that way, you know, or that she couldn't repay him at all. But in reality, you could do other things to repay him. You don't have to do it with sex or something like that. You can repay him by doing nice gestures, cleaning the house, helping him out with chores around the place, doing other nice stuff, working, which is the thing that he like asked her to do. Like, hey, you can get a part-time job or something like that, and you can pay me rent rather than you trying to get a part-time job and like living on your own somewhere, which is going to be really, really tough for her on a part-time job like salary or something like that, you know? So yeah, pretty much he's letting her stay there now, which is really nice because it's taking her away from that street kind of messed up situation that she was in before of seducing people, and just to let them stay, let her stay there. So yeah, it was a good situation that he let her stay there, and that he's trying to guide her to a better kind of life at this time right now. But yeah, we see the day-to-day life kind of a little bit of how they're going through things, how she's cleaning, helping him out a bunch, and how it's improving his life, because they show him at work and he's talking to his friend, and they're telling him that, yeah, that he looks a lot different. His face isn't as pale. He doesn't look as tired. He has more energy. He's doing a lot better at work. What's going on? People are kind of talking around the office thinking that he has a girlfriend or something like that, because he seems to be in a better mood, and just like things are overall better in his life because Sayu is there helping him. And then at the same time, yeah, she's helping, or he's helping her. So it's kind of a good thing, like I said, that this happened, because they're both improving each other's lives at this point right now. So it's good stuff there. But the guy, his friend, tells him that don't get too attached to her, because, or you should send her back home, because like something bad might happen because of this. So that might have been a bit of foreshadowing that something eventually is going to happen that's bad in this situation, because he might get attached to her, just because he might not want her to leave if the situation kind of comes up with her wanting to leave, or with her needing to leave or something like that. Maybe her parents come back into the picture and want her to go home, and he knows that it's not going to be a good situation when she does go back home or something like that. Or yeah, something's going to pop up that's going to cause for something to stir up and some drama, possibly. The drama is one of the tags in this actual show, so I'm expecting something later on. But yeah, some good stuff there. And we get some really other sweet moments later on too, because she's kind of wandering around in his house, cleaning, doing some stuff, but he's at the same time like noticing that she's only wearing her school outfit, so the one with the skirt and everything, and he's like, aren't you uncomfortable in that, wearing that all the time? You're wearing that every single day, what's going on? And she is like, oh, this is the only thing I have. She only has her schoolgirl outfit, the school uniform from school, like that's the only thing she has on her right now. So she can't really wear anything else. She's washing it and stuff every day, but she can't really do anything about it. And he was like, oh, okay. So he does a really nice gesture, and he takes her out and buys her new clothes, because he wants her to live comfortably. He doesn't want her to be forced to only wear that one outfit every day. So he's treating her to doing that, doing something really nice for her. And then on top of that, he bought her a futon too, because he noticed that when she wakes up and she's like saying ow, like, and she's holding her back, like her back's hurting because she's sleeping on the floor right now. She doesn't have a futon or anything to actually sleep on comfortably, and it's hurting her. And so he buys her one of those too, and it was a really nice moment. And when he does do that, we have another one of those moments where Yoshida's kind of a little bit frustrated, because she has that mindset again of like, she's never gonna repay this dude back. This is like her thinking that this is like a super, super nice thing, that she's never gonna be able to do anything to kind of amount up to that, to repay him for that nice gesture. He tells her pretty much like, so you're not feeling as guilty. You've been helping me out a lot at the house. Why don't you like take over the cleaning and the cooking and stuff around the house, because it's been helping me out a ton. It's helping his like way of living, and it's helping out him at work. He's not as tired. He doesn't have to take as much time to do that himself and everything. So he tells her like, hey, can you take over that stuff in return for like you staying over here and everything? And she was just like, oh, okay. And it makes her feel better about it. And yeah, they get the futon and everything, and she's super happy about it too. And yeah, it's funny, and it's really cute seeing her happy in that situation after she gets the futon, because she looks like a normal girl just having fun and everything. One thing that I did want to mention too that I kind of forgot to mention earlier is that it was sad because you see how she's happy now, but at the same time before, he was wondering too when she was in that really sad state and like really lost space of thinking like, where is she gonna go next and everything, and he was feeling sad about it because he was wondering like, why couldn't she have a normal life before? Why couldn't she just have a normal life in high school, having friends, having a boyfriend, stuff like that? Why couldn't she have that situation and everything like a lot of people, like in a lot of normal lives usually kind of are? And it's messed up because stuff like that, like I said, does happen, and it's sad because people get stuck in a really bad situation or forced to be in this kind of situation, or their mind is warped and they think that stuff like that is okay and that's a good way to live, when in reality it's not. So yeah, it was some good moments there because now she's in a happier spot. They're both in a better position life-wise and kind of helping each other out in this way. And I really like the moment at the end of the episode too, because he's like, oh, you're old. When you reach that peak of like old age or something like that, or when you reach that old age and you know that you are old, it's pretty much when you get lazy to the point of where you're not going to shave anymore. Like you're too lazy to shave. That's when you know you're old. It's not when you actually have a long beard. It's when you're too lazy to actually shave that beard. And I thought that was a really nice quote. I thought it was a really cool thing. He seems like a really good dude. He's respecting Sayu and helping her out a bunch. Sayu is helping him out a bunch too. They're both kind of improving each other's lives at the moment, and I'm excited to see more of this anime. Like I enjoyed the heck out of the first episode. I thought it was really wholesome. I thought that there's some mystery still to it and some darker things that we're probably going to get revealed to later down the line. And just I want to see more funny moments with Sayu teasing him. And yeah, she seems like a really cute, really cool character, and I'm going to enjoy seeing her interacting with him more, and Yoshida just kind of taking on that parental kind of guardian role to kind of help her and guide her to like a better life, to having better standards, and to kind of help her mindset just a little bit more and help her develop and everything too. So yeah, it's going to be a really good ride, hopefully. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the next coming episodes. Yeah, let me know what you guys think of the episode. Did you guys enjoy it as much as I did? What do you guys think is going to happen next? Do you guys think that there's going to happen something along the lines with her parents, kind of some things along with them being revealed on what they did to kind of make her or maybe push her to run away so far away? Because I don't think it's just like maybe teenage feelings running rampant in her and her just being a little bit over dramatic and just leaving like that. I think that if she resorted to something like seducing men and having sex with men to let her stay in places, I think it's a little bit more serious. Like maybe that they did something, or someone somewhere in Hokkaido, something bad happened over there, or something bad happened to her that made her kind of get pushed to this sort of scenario. So yeah, I'm expecting some things to kind of get revealed at some point this season in regards to that. Let me know what you guys think of the episode as a whole. Do you guys like Sayu? Do you guys like Yoshida? What do you guys think? Do you guys think that this is going to be a good series going onward? And yeah, thank you guys for watching the video, and yeah, leave the video a like if you guys can. It helps me out a bunch, and subscribe to the channel. Again, it helps me out a ton. You guys take care, and I'll catch you all later. See ya. Bye-bye.